Hello and what's good, YouTube? Are you ready to learn about AP and Dual? Because if you're interested in either of the two, you want to know how to get started on which one to pick. Unless you could pick both, but that's besides the case. Now you may be thinking, what in the heck? Fresh turkey hell are these two things? Well, I'm gonna explain to you. Short, sweet, and simple. AP. AP are classes that you typically take, obviously, in a high school setting, but they're freshman college level. So while everybody's taking regular French, psychology, sociology, freaking calculus and physics, you're taking the freshman college level of it, depending on what you have on your schedule. Meaning you can have like deep conversations, like discussions, you can have a bunch of paperwork, you can have a ton of readings, you can have to do all these mathematical, like, it's really, really college level stuff. But versus dual credit, which is, I believe, 10 times harder because you don't have that in high school. It's not just applied to you. Like, no ma'am, no sir, no, nobody. You have to like physically like get in contact with the college that you're trying to take dual credit with, sometimes having to go there or even having an online or hybrid option if possible. But you'll have to balance high school, like your regular high school classes, just so that you can get them credits on them transcripts so you can graduate, while also getting the credits from that college. Boom! Told you! Wasn't it hard? Is it hard? Yes! That's what choices are. Alrighty, had to bust up the nose for this because we're gonna be talking about how it works, baby. Usually a teacher has to recommend you, okay, I'm talking about AP, sorry, but usually a teacher has to recommend you for this type of classes because they need to be sure that they're putting you in this class and making sure that you can handle it, because if they just put you in that class and you can't handle it, you're basically wasting your own time and they're wasting your time and you're not going to get your credits, because it counts as a college credit and it also counts as a high school credit, both of which are going to be under transcript. So that's why they want to make sure that you can do it, which is why I believe if some schools are just putting it on there just because y'all need your butt whooped, you need to talk to that kid. But if you got in the class, alright, good for you. Expect the unexpected, because anything on any day, depending on the teacher, anything could happen, and you always got to expect to try your best, because like I keep saying, this is a college course, so they well, sort of like a college level class, excuse me, and they expect you to treat this like a college level class. Dual credit, like I said, let's start off with hybrid version. Hybrid, you can either take some classes online or you can take them in person. In person, you gotta go to the college, meaning that your school would typically give you like a free period. I know that my school did, but they would just give you like this free period where you can leave early, which is usually either your beginning period or your end periods for you to go to that class and get what you have done. But if it's a later class, they obviously will have to have that for the last period. And versus early class, which they would just have that earlier. So say if I have a psychology class through the college that starts at 6 and ends at 10, meaning that second period, there is no second period, because say that second period intertwined 10 a.m. period, so they would just give me that second period free. Do you get what I'm saying? And expect the unexpected with them, because if you have to drive there, then expect any traffic, expect to be late and come up with a good excuse. Hey, write down them emails, because you need to be a little bit professional with this. Professors, they love their freaking emails, so keep their email on deck, keep it professional, keep it formal, because they're not like high school teachers where I'm gonna say it. High school teachers, they kind of like do this when it comes to your hand, versus elementary school where they had you by the hand like this. Middle school, they sort of kept you like that. High school teachers, they're sort of around here. But college, they're basically like, blop, you're on your own. Oh, I'm sorry, but seriously, that's just the way that I interpret it. They're just gonna leave you out there on your own, because college, you're basically a young adult. And as a young adult, you take on the real world and you're not a kid anymore. So if you signed up to take these classes, then you gotta be able to keep up with everybody else, and you shouldn't really expect any type of special treatment or anything in special circumstances to be treated differently than everybody else. Now, while I may have stressed that AP could be stressful as but they do have their benefits. First, you get some college credit, which can look good on like a college application. They could be like, oh, you took some college classes and stuff, and maybe it might high up your chances. Like, they see that stuff. They see like AP, dual credit, they see your club stuff. Colleges see all that. So if you think that they're just gonna pass by on AP, then you gotta look, shoot, they even see the bad scores, but at least you took that class. Am I right? Or am I right? Just know that the worse your score is, the more it'll affect how much credit you get for that. So obviously you're not gonna get that much credit if your score is low, But if your AP scores are high, then yeah, you're going to get more credit than the lower scores. You can learn extended information. French may have not covered all that, but you can learn more in depth about French culture, about the adjectives, just the way that they form their French words and stuff like that. Like, that's extended knowledge that I think would benefit you, especially if you really love the subject. It's a perfect fit for you because what they're not providing in high school could provide for you in AP because of the level. And they can also encourage you to do your own individual research because that gives you a more heightened up sense to what you can actually learn and probably use on the test. And it's not as stressful as dual because, like I said, you might have to commute, you'll have to be more responsible and actually get your mindset in, okay, I'm also a college student, but I'm also a high school student, so you gotta be half and half with it when it comes to dual. But with AP, it's already at your school, so you're just a high school student. But that doesn't shield you from any cons, which includes probably having to pay for your exam. I don't know how it is because I know that when I took my exam, I didn't have to pay, but some schools actually require for you to pay to take the exam, which I heard is, I think, in between 95 to 125. The rates are different depending on something, but that's usually what the rates are. Why would I pay over $100 for a freaking test? Why would I do that? Like, I'm just trying to prove that I learned something. I shouldn't have to prove with some green. You get what I'm saying? And not everybody has all that green to spend. But if you really think about it, they really are prepping you for college because college will charge you for everything. So they could prep you for that. And also, not all schools will probably provide this. So even though you've heard it from a friend that goes to another school, don't get your hopes up when it comes to the other school because there's probably not enough teachers, there's probably not enough funding, and overall they're probably just don't have any stable program that could give you that AP experience so you could take the test successfully so you can get those credits. So don't expect it at your school, which is why I'm telling you to just do your research and just to ask the right people. As I said, I need this paper because dual is more difficult, like I've said. So here's the following for my pros. I'm not gonna get lazy, so don't even say that. Pros, receive an early college experience, take classes that interest you, challenge yourself to a different flow than what you're used to, get college credit, any other advantages that your school offers if you were to join. When all these are good pros, now let me explain them. Receiving an early college experience could really prepare you for what you might expect if you choose to go to college, and also, like I said, that credit could go towards your degree. So instead of having to take all 4 years, you could just to take all 3 or even 2 years. So meaning that when you go into college, well, everybody's a freshman, you could be a junior or even a sophomore in college. So you get a level up. And with the classes that interest you, you get to not be in the jail cell, that is the high school system where you have to take classes that they think you need, but you can take like home economics while everybody is suffering from not taking home economics. You can for sure enough so assured like a pro, but everybody can't even do that without pricking their finger, and that is a flex that you can have. Just like AP, you can challenge yourself. You get all that knowledge and stuff in your head, and of course, you can choose what classes that you want to take. No one is forcing this upon you. Is literally a choice, because if they're gonna send you to somebody else's school, then they for sure gonna give you some choices to look after, because shoot, I know that I saw the catalog, I got my choices. Shoot, I really wish they would. But of course, with everything good comes the cons. It requires a level of maturity that you really need. You gotta be prepared to deal with the professors. Like I said, you gotta have that college intuition and that college brain. You can't just go in there with a little high school senior, high school junior attitude and expect to get away with it, because they will shut that down so freaking fast before you can say monkey see, monkey do. So don't do it. So being annoying. I don't freaking care. There could be limited course options, because like I said, with AP, of them not having AP classes, they could have limited options, meaning that, oh, I want to take home economics, but they don't have home economics, but they also have sewing. And sometimes they might not have anything that's of your interest, but they just have a whole bunch of classes that, again, don't spark your interest. They can have a whole bunch of science class, but if you're someone that's into like writing or stuff, then they'll just only have 2 classes that deal with English, and that's freaking poetry 101 and just comprehensive essay or something, some crap like part 2. I don't know. But it's just not in your interest, because there's not that many classes that just outweigh the ones that you don't want versus the ones that you do want. You get what I'm saying? So it's really not to your advantage if that happens. And also, many colleges don't even take dual credit, which I think is stupid. But in all cases, I truly believe that the college that you're doing dual credit for, if you end up going to that college, you're going to get credit for it, but some of them just don't. Like, say if you took a dual credit class from one college, but you don't want to go to that college, but you're trying to get those scores transferred to another one, they might not even take them. And you know what? That's some crap. Because why in the heck would you not take them? It can't transfer anything. Like, I don't get it. Because the whole point is so that it shows up. Oh, and it also probably won't show up on your transcript, which I feel like would have been easy for them to get. But it turns out that sometimes it probably won't even show up on your transcript, which is even more crap. So yeah, watch out for that. Make sure that people are doing their freaking jobs. Because, well, I mean, shoot, what the heck? Now, hopefully to this point, you've learned some stuff. I know I've kind of been going a little bit fast, but maybe you guys might get some sedative if I tell you guys my experiences with the two, because I have been blessed to experience the two. Since we last started off with dual credit, let's just continue with dual credit to talk about that. Dual credit, I ended up taking dual credit last semester. I talked to you guys about it during my senior Get Ready With Me, if you guys want to go check it out, but that's when I took my Photoshop class. My Photoshop class, to me, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was expecting like video call, like actual interaction, but instead it was just like the site, like through the college portal, and then it transferred you to like this website or app, website and or app called Blackboard, and that's where all my assignments were, where I could see my grades and videos and resources and all that stuff like that. I was expecting something like Zoom, but hey, that's just me. That's just me. And my counselor at the time did warn me that I probably will be on my own, which is fine because I freaking flourished in that freaking class. Like, before I didn't know what the freaking heck to do with Photoshop. It was literally all these margins and then I didn't know what to do. So I was getting frustrated. But now that I took that class, I work Photoshop like a pro. It's not even freaking funny. Like, I can cut, I can mask, I can color, I can fill, I can do all these things because I took this class. And the professor was actually really chill. Like, the one time that I saw his face, sorry, I'm gonna be a simp, I was thinking, ooh. But then I snapped back to reality and think, oh, this dude, he really knows what he's talking about. And I let that. He knows exactly how to do his stuff. His emailing, because at the start I did have some troubles because Blackboard just wouldn't accept my information, and that's because the school that I was taking dual credit with mixed up like some records and stuff to where it said I was in another class than in the Photoshop class, and I was just like, we gotta fix this. So I was calling them up, blowing it up, and eventually we got it figured out. But he was so freaking kind, guys. Like, he actually understood my situation and actually tried to help me, and that's a real freaking one, because there's not that, there's some professors and teachers that will literally just like put it off the whole, like it's not their problem, just let you deal with it with like the administration and stuff like that, which isn't right, because at the end of the day, it's your class I'm trying to get into, genius, so help me. But yeah, I ended up passing that class with all flying colors. Now let me go back and tell you how I got to that class. So while it was during quarantine, during towards the end of junior year, where my counselor at the time actually sent me a message for a dual credit class, that they're having dual credit class through the colleges, the community college that's near me, and I was like, oh, I want to see what this is about. I filled out all the applications and stuff. So I looked at the catalog, scrolled down, because it was like auto mechanics and all this other culinary crap, and I was like, and looked for arts. Now, arts, I was given 3 options. I was given Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and I think painting. I forgot that 3rd option, but it was 3 options I know. Adobe, all I know is that the 2 first options before the Photoshop, it was hybrid, meaning that I would have had some days where I was taking it in class and some days where I would actually have to commute and go to the college. And this wouldn't have worked because 1, that college is actually a little bit far from me, and 2, it would have been late at night, meaning I would have been out at night and still expected to go back to school the next day, and so I went with the all online option, even if it meant I wouldn't get that actual like feel to get into the class, like an actual teacher just instructing me. It was still nice because I ended up freaking learning something. So there, that's how you get the dual credit done, homie. 1 AP, 1 AP. Well, specifically 2 AP, because I took this for both sophomore and junior year. And I should be a little bit nice because the people that taught me could be watching this, but just know it ain't you, it's just me and just AP, the system overall. So let's start. AP for me started sophomore year. It started with, it's a history class because I aced it in the history, baby. After I got recommended from my freshman World Civ teacher, she actually recommended me for this one teacher, this one male teacher, he was a male, for his world history, his AP world history class. And honestly, I loved both of my teachers. I love them equally. I can't choose like a favorite or anything. If y'all about to say, well, which one was your favorite? I don't have a favorite, baby, because both of them equally love what they're learning. They love the material, and they genuinely love teaching like kids, like teenagers, about this stuff. They want to enhance our brains, and I love that. But back to him. He was a chill type of dude. He loved, again, teaching the stuff that he learned. He wanted to enhance our minds. And of course, he knew most of us because he seen us like walking around the halls and also knew our names. So it was like, we was cool and stuff. And he just had this vibe about him. I can't explain it. It's just like his whole utterly vibe is just what drew me to him. And he learned very quickly what my work ethic was about. That I was meant to be in this class. Like, I was getting the work done left and right. Reading, I was openly engaging in the discussion, so he knew everything about it. But that score did not look good. It did not look good at all. It was a freaking 1 out of 5. I don't blame him. I mostly blame the freaking test, because just like the SAT test, it has stuff on there that you wouldn't expect to be on the test. Like, how in the heck would they have to know that I have to square all these freaking letters and know numbers without a calculator? You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't hold that against him, and I don't hold it against the second teacher at all. Now, many people complain about him because he did give out a lot of work, which I don't mind, because it actually encouraged me to continue my pretty nose journey. If you don't know, I make pretty noses. So he actually encouraged me to make all these boxes, all these designs and stuff, because he was just like hashing out 3 to 6 pages of notes for every unit that we did. So I used the 3 pages I didn't do, no freaking 6 pages, to my advantage. And his class was chill too. Like, it's sad because I really freaking wish that the panoramic didn't happen, because if I was in his class, I would have been engaging. Like, heck, I would have been like, hey teacher, I got the answer. Let's talk a little bit. Like, he just made you want to get engaged and to talk. Like, he didn't just like, oh, this person. Like, he tried to find ways to get this person to talk, and he explained it in a way to where we can understand. And I like teachers that do that try to get into our heads and our lingo and our slang and apply that to what they're teaching without being unprofessional, but they're also being fun. You get what I'm trying to say? And it works. It works because a lot of kids understand what they're trying to say, what they're trying to teach, if you use what we probably would know. If you speak us, if you speak saffron, if you speak this, that, and the third. You put it into words that we understand and it'll work, and that's what he did. But his tests, even with that cute little sign that he made, I believe in you, it didn't work because my score wasn't no better on there. But overall, I still had a great experience with the two. So yeah, mwah. Thank you! And boom, case in point, we're done. And hopefully you got a little bit of incentive about AP and dual credit. I tried my best with the research that I did on the paper that I dropped on the ground. Anyway, I just want you guys to be a little bit more educated because, like I said, this is, well, not like I said, but this is actually a big step towards your educational academic career, because what you do in high school really does make or break. And I know people are like, but it really does make the difference. From freshman all the way to freaking my grade senior, you at some point have the decision and rights to make your academic life better, like enhance the quality a little bit. And why not through AP or dual if your school has it? So why not just take that chance? Personally, I know you guys are gonna ask me this, and honestly, leave it in the comments below. Which one would you choose? Would you choose AP? Would you say dual? Would you say freak both of those? Or heck yeah, I'm with it, but I'm with the both of them. And I go with the latter. I'm with both of them because I just had like a good experience with them, and I have like little to no ill will towards any of them, except for the freaking test scores, but that's besides the thing. It's water under the bridge, but I like both of them. I wouldn't hold it again, and honestly, I would do it again, 10 out of 10. But that's it, and I will see you guys in the next one. But don't forget to, it's just that as a person who loves to learn about stuff that they actually want to learn about, of course I'm going to want to take it again, because I'm going to want to regain and keep all of that knowledge as much as I can, because I'm a learning type of person. And who wouldn't if they're learning like home economics or French or anything that they want? It's just a simple freaking truth. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a sweet comment, including the comment that I asked so politely for you to put down. And of course, subscribe, join the thing, because I know you're gonna come back. Like, I'm giving out information and advice, baby. Like, you don't want my advice? Okay, but I got other videos that you might like too, so stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye, guys.